Recording. Let's go.
Yeah.
Peace. Welcome back. Secret House Against Tokyo-based hip-hop art and culture conversations, primarily discussing underground, independent, avant-garde, abstract, experimental hip-hop. Conversations about albums, not reviews. I like to make that distinction sometimes, but we also sometimes take long walks off short tangents. We also sometimes discuss critical theory, ideology inherent in the art. Today, I don't know if we're going to get too much into that, but I want you guys to know that we rock with the Noname Book Club. Maybe I didn't say Noname Book Club on the last one.
You did.
All right.
You did.
No, we rock with the Noname Book Club.
Right there.
We also rock with Caltrops Press, The Sonic Cloth, Rap Music Plug Podcast, which has a tremendous conversation with the artist we're reviewing today. Link in the bio. Also, what else do we rock with? Call Out Culture. Extraordinary Rap Music Podcast. Yeah. But today we have assembled. Today we got our homie Deza with us. Watch the video that just came out right before that, where we kind of discuss a lot of things. But we've got Deza with us, Tokyo based. You know what I mean? All of us out here.
What up?
A lot of different type of people. Today we're discussing the Cavalier album. Different type of time. 21 songs, 58 minutes. This came out on April 19th. And
it's been a month now. We've been sitting on it for a while.
We were. Initially the intention was to give it some time to simmer and for us to get our thoughts together, because I think this is the type of album that rewards that.
Yes,
it rewards that. But also we were going to try to get Dash Lewis on to discuss the album with us. He's also in the Rap Music Plug podcast, which is where I first met him. And he wrote the Pitchfork review for this album, which I didn't read. I skimmed it for a second, and then I was like, I kind of want to make sure that when I do the album review that I'm only working with my thoughts on it. So I'm going to read that after, but link in the bio. This album, came out on April 19th. This is the first return from Cavalier with a solo project since I think 2019, which is where Private Stock dropped. And let's get into it. How are we familiar with Cavalier? How about you, Deza? Start it off. How do you know Cavalier? Is this the first time for you?
I ain't gonna lie, it's my first time, and I wish I knew about him beforehand. He's super dope MC. I really enjoyed the album thoroughly.
Okay, so you're not too familiar with like Quelle Chris either, then? Yeah?
No, I know Quelle Chris. Yeah.
Okay, you've probably heard Cavalier, because him and Quelle, they're kind of like in some ways maybe like a Ray and Ghost. You know what I mean? Like they're not like a rap duo team, but they rap duo team all the time, and they both kind of have the same similar.
I kind of like researched around after and stuff. After I finished the album, they kind of were in the same area for a bit in New York or something, maybe I think. But they were like working together somehow.
Yeah, their work goes. They just came out with the what was it, Blackwood Cotton, or I forget the name of it, but
Black Cottonwood.
But Cavalier is super dope. I think my homie Shucks might have brought him out here to perform back in the tens or in the aughts. Actually, shout out to Shucks One. But yeah, Cavalier has been putting it down for a very long time and is tremendous. How about you, Jet?
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Okay.
Where I'm at. He's been this looming presence over Secret House as long as we've been doing this. There's been a number of excellent Cavalier verses. It is his first solo release since we started doing the show, but in that time, there's probably a dozen different things we've reviewed where he just comes on, bodies the track, and then disappears back into the ether.
So amazing on that. We buy diabetic test strips. For the people that have been listening, they know that he is one of my maybe 4 dark horse pick favorite MCs. It's like him, Riff Napalm, Breeze Bruin. These are some of the cats that I feel are the most talented, incredible artists who don't necessarily have the same type of accolades, public accolades, or eyes on them like a Billy Woods or an Alusa or a Milo or Rory Rap Ferreira, which Cav is on tour with Rory.
Right,
Shout out, friend of the show, Rory.
He's on tour with Quelle Chris as well.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine. Yeah, I know that there was a few dates that Rory and him was doing together. So, he's one of my favorites. Him, Denmark Vesey, all those cats. I'm a huge, tremendous fan of them, and I highly recommend people go out and check out the back catalog of anybody that we talk about, really, because it's always going to be dope. We don't really review whack shit intentionally.
Yeah, I'm gonna work.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna work backwards. Do you have another album to recommend, or should I
Oh,
just go
Private
straight
Stock
from the
is
start?
Private Stock is fire.
Private
Yeah.
Stock?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The Private Stock joint is fire. But yeah, this one I think is so far in his vast catalog of music. I'm gonna come out and just say, for me, this feels like his magnum opus. This feels like his most refined, intentioned release. It's full body, it's long as fuck. It's tremendous. I think that for me, it's very unlikely that another album will come out this year that will beat this for me. I keep on peeling back layers and layers, and I just appreciate almost every single element of this album. This is my album of the year. I haven't really felt this way about a single album since like the Noname from last year. Not necessarily that they're
very different records.
Very different sonically, but a lot of the things that are resonating with me here are of the utmost importance, and I think that there's a depth and density to this album that just really rewards re-listens.
And like the Noname, something that's really remarkable about this record is that it does completely succeed as just a good, pleasant sonic listen.
Yeah.
The album sounds great. The production's really, really good on here. The MCing is absolutely top notch on here. But at the same time, on those re-listens, you pick up on a lot of the ideas and the themes that Cav is exploring across the record, and it's a really, really wonderful work.
So two things.
Yeah.
First, I feel the same way as you guys, and you said you had this album for about a month. You guys were sitting on it.
Yeah.
I didn't know until like a week ago that I was gonna be on the show. So
Okay.
my biggest regret is that I didn't have more time to sit on it as well. Because after like the second playthrough I did with Jet actually at my house like a little bit before this, and it grew on me even more.
Yeah.
I was catching things I didn't catch before. But also, does he produce some stuff on the album, or is it just
I don't
straight
think so.
MCing?
I don't think I wrote down. I didn't write down all the production
Because I know
on
Quelle
here,
Chris
but
produced
yeah,
one of the
quite a
songs.
few.
He produced Flourish, one of my favorite joints as well.
He's on a few. Wino Willie's on a few. Glass City. There's quite a few. Quelle definitely produced a few of these though. But I again back to the point, and also what you're saying. I think that the best in the same food like cinema, right? With great pieces of artwork, the best re-listenables, the best rewatchables pay you back for your scholarship.
Yeah.
They flatter your sensibilities and help you understand the choices and realize that the choices are intentional. Every single brush stroke is intentional to create like a larger canvas of art. And when I listen to this, even some of the songs that are like short for a minute, it sound like a freestyle or sound like something. I keep on just finding different layers of understanding the lyrics more, or clocking into what he's doing with his flow or the vocabulary or just the way that he freaks it. And I think that this album is like it's a different type of time. It's a different type of thing.
I think that's super intentional. Even from the first song when he's talking about, it's a different type of time, and he's kind of talking about how things are going, everything's going by really fast and stuff.
Later. Yeah.
Another time.
Different type of time. That's how they got us last time.
That's how they got us last
with
time.
that nah really shit. They try to fuck us up right now on Windows be doing that type of stuff. I don't like it. But I'm sorry.
No, that's all good. But even that it's just the fact that it wants you to re-listen to this album again and again, because it wants you to appreciate this thing in the present, being present in it with it, right? Because it's a different type of time. It's focusing on the now rather than whatever the future or the past entails.
I think that intro track is kind of like the Rosetta Stone of the whole album. He lays out exactly the vision. What are we doing this for? Who's growing this? Where are we at? Is it the future or is it the past? It's everything all at once. And
that's
it's like
hard, man.
to me that's like one of the one of the great things about the album. There's a few things that I'm taking away from the album. One, there's probably like three major things that I'm taking away from the album, and I'll break it up as our conversation goes on. But the first thing I'm taking from the album is that Cavalier is just lyrically on another level compared to the mainstream and to the kind of popular zeitgeist of people creating rap music. Amongst his contemporary, he styles and is great and is super dope. Like Quelle Chris is amazing. Woods is amazing. All of these guys are doing different things. But when it comes to what Cav is doing, the flow patterns, the vocabulary, the entendres, the double entendres, the homonyms he's doing, it's really just different. Like you clock into some of like what is the one joint? It's kind of just like a minute. Hold on. Baby, I'm home.
Yes.
It's like 40 it's like 48 seconds, right? And it seems like kind of a throwaway type of thing, but the scheme is like on some like Shakespearean pentameter. He's like, out here balling, no pags rugby.
Why don't you run it up?
Yeah, we could do that because
before you jump off this beat, did anybody recognize the sample on this? It's gone now, but during the
I wasn't. I was busy.
Oh, the beat.
The beat that's currently the Wavy Bagels.
Shout out to Wavy Bagels.
Yeah, big up Wavy Bagels. That sample it got kind of a smirk out of me.
Well,
I'm sure some of you will recognize.
No, we don't.
I can't snitch.
Baby, I'm home.
Out here trying to eat with a milk bone. You little niggas lucky, little niggas puppy. Better big honey than a nigga can't touch. Out here balling, no pass ruck. No more uniform, true religion in the ruck. Issue to the hood, uniform cut. I drop 50 bands to make you my buddy. He's like,
There's
start with the
something
A, normal with the B, some, then stretch it to the C, and it's just the flow is just like.
It all contributes really to this like sense of like presence within the album, because like you have that kind of percussive like while he's moving. I don't know if it's like some kind of tambourine or something like that. And then even the quality of the recording of his vocals, the sort of ambient noise of like what sounds like traffic or something, sounds like you're just like outside freestyling with him or something.
But isn't it like even the album cover is just him on a chair
him on like a
outside.
recliner out
I
in the
love
street,
that.
yeah.
Like it's literally just people passing by, not taking the time to be present wherever they're at. I love that shit, man. That's fucking dope. That shit look like it could be back in my hometown. I don't know, that area looks just like downtown. I love that shit, man.
Yeah, I mean, man, what I noticed about this album, especially when I was putting through, like, the more I listen to a song, the more it's just like, what, bro? Like, everything is so impressive to me. I'm a little older than y'all. I'm 40 years old, and I imagine that me and Cav are kind of from like the same type of era generationally, right? But also when I was 15, I became God body, so a lot of the things that are inherent to his New York personality kind of ring through for that on me. But on top of just like the hidden jewels and a lot of the Gnostic, esoteric, spiritual, and also just dope New York shit, like being a low head or whatever, or just being on some real fly shit, like a lot of that resonates for me. And
his ability to jump between all of those different versions of him as well. An issue I have with a lot of the God body stuff on the albums we review, also just not being like African American, it just kind of like goes over my head a lot of it, and like I don't know about the 4 parts of a woman. I don't know about sacred geometry or whatever, but like he's able to jump between like some dope ass storytelling to just like fly shit for the sake of fly shit to like God body shit.
Yeah, also like appreciating women and shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing for me about it. A lot of the God body shit, right? When you think back about that and you think about people being on their dean and being like actual like solid human beings that are leaning towards their form of spirituality and being upright, a lot of that 5% shit, like if you go and watch what Ghostface is doing right now, man, like I saw him on a couples therapy thing, and it's just like, yo, that is a disappointing hip-hop hero. I wouldn't want to hang around with somebody that treated people like that or carry himself like that. But when I listen, you don't even worry about it. It's it's neither here or there. But the thing is about this album is that Cav comes from the lineage. He's embracing all the types of ethics that we grew up with in hip hop that were the ones that maintained the culture for itself. But he's also subverting a lot of them by just freaking things differently, freaking things new. And it comes across as a very kind of like mature, intelligent, fully formed human being who is espousing profound, useful, radical insight. And it reflects a lot all throughout the album, to the point where it's like, if you're one of these cats that's really not on that shit, it might sound a little bit like you getting a mirror shined on you. You might listen to something like Manigault's and feel personally attacked. It's like, the mirror that he's holding up, like these type of things that he's talking about, like I'm with him. I'm 41 years old and I did all my goon maneuvers. I did everything, from racking paints to stealing cars and being shot at and just trying my best. I'm a civilian, you know what I mean? But like when I listen to him, I'm like, yeah, this is real grown man shit. This is not some shit where I hear RZA doing some like respectability politics, or I'll listen and you look at the mainstream culture, right? And you see cats like Puff Daddy, who is we have been against that type of shit. We knew that the type of shit was happening. You see the shit with Drake, and people make it seem as though Kendrick is like a high water mark in hip hop who's saving hip hop from Drake. It's like, yo, what is Kendrick really on? What is Kendrick's politics really on? Like, this type of shit is so inherently different. You hear Questlove talking about, oh, this battle hip hop truly is dead. I'm like, how are you gonna even say that? Like, throughout my whole life, there have been cats like Cav, and Cav is really doing just something so tremendous right now. Even to the point, and I don't know if you heard about this, Deza. This album was like a straight bill, like $100 bill to buy this album, right? And people were like, well, the Billy Woods album, it's on Backwoods. She's like, it didn't cost that much. And Cap, it's like, what type of bozo do you have to be to try to tell somebody the value of their art? To feel so like what is the term I'm looking for? You just feel so privileged and entitled to tell somebody what the art is worth. And I'm just like, if he wanted to be $100, then put it down. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to support that, because this is different. This isn't just your everyday runoff dribble that's following in cycle. This is somebody who's put a lot of focus in, and that's what he feels. And so when with like the ethics, man, a lot of the shit done slid in hip hop that just, to me, it's not even just about hip hop, it's about culture that he talks about on here too.
He's independent, right? He's completely
he is, he put this out on Backwoods, but Backwoods is Billy Woods and them, you know what I mean? Like he's and even like even if it wasn't independent, like the things that he's espousing, the way he moves in the street, like there's something to be respected there.
Absolutely.
I don't have to worry about my hip hop heroes being super bozos like that. It's like my Spider Tent singles, bro. It singles. You're not going to catch me being hella disappointed because I'm a Kanye stan or a Puff Daddy stan or a Kendrick stan or a Drake stan. It's like I've been listening and been into underground, independent, abstract hip hop my entire life. Basically, I started breaking when I was 12 and I was underground. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, to me, the ethics on this album are one of the things that just really shine. And you could take a fine-tooth comb and just
Right now, you're playing in a like on shuffle, right? This is not like I heard Flourish earlier in that.
It started on Flourish.
Okay,
now
we've looped back around again.
Order, yeah,
because I wanted to also highlight how well sequenced this record is. Like, it really does move through like different motions and different kind of sonic palettes as you go through the record. And like initially on my first listen, honestly, I kind of didn't get it. Because you were hitting me up, like you were blowing me up in the DMs, like gushing over how amazing this record was. And like first couple tracks of play, I'm like, yeah, this is cool, this is real good. But it didn't like kick into gear for me until like, maybe a third of the way in. And then you have like this entire
3 a.m. music.
Yeah,
if you sleep, I'm fucking it up for you.
You have this entire run from Deja Vu, Hydro 97, all the way through to like Bad Vice, where like, things get kicked up a little bit of a gear. There's a bit more of a wonky, like electronic, some jazz drums on there.
Love Bad Vice.
Bad Vice is crazy.
Oh my, that hook is crazy.
But go.
Some of the the production on the album is absolutely phenomenal. And we could just talk about the production alone if we wanted to.
There's some people on here that I wasn't aware. Like I fucked up. I listened to this album so much, but when I listen to it, I'll be too busy to make the notes. You know what I mean? I'll be just like vibing to it. But you got guys like Touchstones is produced by Amma. Glass City, Can't Leave It Alone.
I think you're playing that right now too. Can't Leave It Alone, right?
Quite a few Quelle joints. I think Quelle might be like an executive producer. Shout out to Wino Willie, man. One of the homies put me on a Wino Willie a few years back. He told Wino to hit me up and send me some beats. And this was on Facebook maybe like 6 or 7 years ago. And to see Wino killing that, like that Baby I'm Home beat is so fire. Wino be all over the place nowadays too, just killing. He just had a dope album. But man, the production on this album, the vibes that it cultivates, and even some of these songs is like maybe old. Like All Things Considered came out last year.
Yes.
And it still just works so cohesively with the
a single, right? At the time?
Yeah. But man, like, it's just like the vibe on this album. It really do feel kind of. it feel like, the only time I see my philosophy teacher is at 4 a.m. in the morning when I'm brushing my teeth. You know what I mean? It feel like this is like a different place. Like I'm just like
different type time.
3 o'clock in the morning, but they do have the more upbeat tracks. Like Doodoo Damien is like funny kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that verse is.
But Nebulous Storm suddenly set off with my Nebula form. Like, he's so
yeah.
crazy. Like, I mean, I got a lot of lyrics that I wrote down off of this shit, right? But
I love the callbacks to the past MCs and stuff. Like he starts a song with like, "Okay, I'm reloading," or mentioning Cooley High, like that sort of thing. Yeah, I love that, man. Like, but he takes that and like makes it kind of his own thing and like makes it.
Like on Told You, it's like it do sound like some 99 shit. That Baba Z got me high. That's How High, Red and Meth. But like and there's a lot of themes to these songs. It's not just him rapping. There's a lot of themes to these songs. Like the song Told You that I was just talking about, it seems like a retrospective of being back in the day, like old dog braids, first time seeing goggles on the train, explaining Wally's Pops. Bad Vice is about kind of bad advice, you know what I mean? Like,
can you play that right now? The chorus is so good on that.
Yeah, Bad Vice is so good.
I love that.
Like even boy, like come on, like
boy.
The longs. Oh my god,
longest ever boy.
Oh my god, this album is just incredible, bro.
It's definitely an album I'm gonna listen to. I think for the next few months just to dissect it fully.
It's you're playing a dangerous game when you release an hour-long record. Like, you always run the risk of making these days. But even like an issue I have with like so many of the Busta Rhymes albums is that like they all could be 40 minutes shorter and still be like just as good. But like
you don't got a classic.
You play like with the attention spans of people nowadays, and then the number of tracks on here, 21 tracks. There's a lot going on here, and you run the risk of making something overstuffed, something overwrought, just like too big. But this album's so like authentic and so complete as a project.
Once again, just feels so intentional. Like
of course. I mean, I think the fact that it sits at that length is very much part of the intention. It's probably been cut down somewhat from previous incarnations of it.
Yo, the run he goes on, I be on the outskirts, never said when in Rome, this Babylon. Hold on, it's coming up.
Before it's getting away. So right, cause it's never too late. Tell them why you're mad. If you burned every bridge you had, no one will swim to you. Whether you deserve to live won't matter. That's just residual. All depends in the end still, sadly. Guess that's a hidden rule. They'll still hold it against you gladly. Tis the season. Niggas having episodes. Still skipping stepping stones, throwing wrenches, holding hammers, double-edged swords. Blue collar, robust. I roll blunts on the bus headed home. I'll be on the outskirt, never said when in Rome. This Babylon, eat off your legacy longer than you had bread living. Want you to be grateful dead. Heaven sent, left on red.
Like that double, bro. Eat off your legacy longer than you had bread living. Like bread leaven, you know what I mean? The bread rising. That double, that kind of homonym, but want you to be grateful dead. Heaven sent, left on red. Man, he's crazy, bro.
Heaven sent, left on red, man. Yo, yeah. Shit, man.
Got in the way. And then the next joint, think about it. Is it valid? Can it change? The shit that I also feel like was really dope, like on Mana Goats and I Miss Him, right? Where he's talking about it make me miss some old Foden Ave Israelites. Like, yo, that shit is...
Yeah, because we were just talking about that before, right?
Yeah.
The other episode, we were talking about like rapper and cosplay or something.
I seen a white rapper in cosplay. Yeah. And it's just like, to me, like this is not him. He ain't talking about somebody specific. He's talking about that kind of the essence of things that have changed and how he kind of wants some of that back. And like I said, I was God body. Like my father is a black Seminole. Like I like to make this clear to people. My father is a black Seminole. Our family go back to that that tribe. We was on a reservation for a few years, so I'm black and Seminole. And it's like when I listen to him, I was like, I get so much out of it to feel culturally. I feel like I feel like something is connecting with me here. He said your roots never grew through concrete to get civilized. Like, and then he say like you need fast forward to see Jizz alive, the free application for federal student aid. bro, what is it? What is he getting on? Like he's like the culture has changed. This is something new. This is a voice that I feel is important, and that's where I kind of see it in the same wavelength as that Noname, because Noname is saying shit that nobody says. Now he's saying things that people might be saying, but the way he's saying it is also the freshest and the coolest. There's an inherent coolness about this that makes his album feel like something new under the sun. This really is a different type of time. Like, it's something Lazarus, bro. Every single song on this album, I could write down lyrics and just bomb about how impressive it is. Like Bespoke, everything, bro. The 50 bags, insert cartoon gun sounds. I don't fuss loud. I do all my own stunts, snap, man. Like I don't know, man. This album to me was just like one of the most impressive joints of the year. Like I the first time I listened to it, I was like, wow, that was really good. And then I was just like, every time I would find myself listening to a single track for like an hour and being like, it's catchy, like the chorus. And you know what else is crazy about this? Where are the MC features? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's carrying it.
He carries the whole. I mean, of course, you got vocal samples, you got other people producing. You might have somebody on like on the 50 bags, like the chorus type of thing. But there ain't really like of all the people. This is a backwoods record. He could have had everybody.
Anybody on that?
He could have had everybody on this, and he was just like, nah, hold on, I got it from this one, and it never gets tiring to me. This album is just
embodiment
crazy.
of like Cavalier's like iconoclasticity as well. Like it's just like he's Cavalier. He's you know, he's kind of a mysterious figure. He's been present in hip hop for a very long time now, and yet like very difficult to pin down. I don't know if there's any press about him or any kind of media about him. Very much someone who exists you know, as himself, and you know, features on other people's things, shows up and everything like that. But like, I think it, you know, it's like Deza was showing me his Spotify description earlier. Where they're talking about.
I don't know anything about him.
No,
So I was
basic,
reading it,
like
you know.
it's basically the press basically like comes down to who is this guy?
Yeah.
Like who is this cat who just like you know, people like, oh, there's like a disappointment that he never like took his skill set like to the mainstream, you know, that he's not a Lupe Fiasco or a Kendrick or you know, one of these like, or an Andre 3000 for that matter, but like he's just so like unique and individual, you know, in terms of his presentation and just how well crafted this record is. Like this album probably just took several years to make. Like, you know, it's not something that you can just like neatly fit into the like production release schedule type approach to hip hop today.
He you know, I feel like there's obviously something intentional to that. There's no crossover type of shit on this. You know what I mean? Like even this joint Bespoke, right? Subliminal plots, like a grave plot in the ground. You know what I mean? Subliminal plots for what's dead ain't criminal. I just give them enough rope or watch as they commit seppuku. Woo.
Watch as they commit seppuku.
What's like? I love how he kind of. Sometimes you'll think that if you kind of try to anticipate rhymes, you know what I mean? You feel like a rhyme is coming or something like that. It's very difficult with Cav. His vocabulary is wild, and it don't ever come across as like in a pretentious way at all. You just kind of like hear it and be like, damn, like what? Where does that, you know what I mean? Where does that even come from? How you doing that shit? Like, yeah,
I mean, me and Jet were talking about this as well before, but recently I've been trying to, you know, just trying to change up my flow and stuff.
Your flows and
so like hearing this kind of thing where it's like all over, like the rhyme scheme, the rhyme patterns, internal rhymes. You know, you have all of these different like literary devices at play so effortlessly and so cool. It's very like, damn, I gotta step it up.
That's one of the ethics, bro. Like you could do whatever you want as long as you figure right. I think Quelle said on one of the Innocent Country too. What you call abstract, we call lyrics, and it's just like you could do anything. Like
so this is something we're going to talk about on the next review that we're going to do on the Sleep. Like music theory is just our way of defining or a way of understanding music. Music is there's no rules, right? Like music is music theory is entirely vibes, basically. You know, there is a mathematics to it, but at the same time, it's like Heaven Sent doesn't rhyme with Left on Red, right?
But it sounds hard.
But like, it rhymes enough that it's pleasing to the ear. You know, those are incomplete rhymes. The vowel sounds match, but the consonants don't at all.
Near rhyme?
Yeah, they're like para rhymes. And like, Cavalier is just so good at freaking it that way. He never tries to just jam or force a rhyme in. You know, he's not doing the like like type thing. He's just able to do this so elegantly, and I think that's just what makes him so pleasant to listen to.
I mean, it's also like it's extremely poetic in a lot of ways. It's also still complex in ways. His usage of like pauses or drawing a word out a little bit different, or doubling and using homonyms, it just really stands out as like the upper tier of lyricism. Like I was talking to somebody today about like the Rock Marcy, and I was like, you know, like they're both at the same level of being like super dope rappers that you can gush about. But for me, the difference is the depth. Like, you know what I mean? Like when I listen to Rock, I'd be like, yeah, that's just cool. Make me feel cool. Maybe I might, you know, try to flip this on a lady face or something. And I could do that with Cavalier too. But at the same time, he put it together the esoteric. He puts them together like just grown man ethics. This joint right here, Deja Vu, ships in sacred geometriage from the trapezoidal, void in the middle, community pillars, empty syringe cylinders, Colt 45 degree Dillingers, like crazy, syringe cylinders, pillars of the, bro, he, and I'm not even trying to, I wasn't even trying to get academic with it and trying to break down and bar whisper some shit. But you just hear him come through. The joint before this, right? Like, what is it? Touchstones?
Touchstones, yep.
Bro, this beat is so off kilter, choppy, and just weird, but the smoothness of his flow, it seems to be about a relationship. And usually I don't even really fuck with a lot of cats talking about women too much like that. It's like, you know, I mean, that's dope. You talk to me about that, but death to new love in utero, mama doula, might have doula some of the wrong do-or-don'ts, no do-overs, but it's business as usual. I'm just through with those. Like, I'm not doing any of the rhymes justice, but the way he freaks it, might have doulas, like a doula, like the person that helps
Doula,
bring
raises,
but it's like might have do some of the wrong do-or-don'ts, no do-overs, like my medulla. That's where the anger comes from, right?
I guess, yeah.
Isn't that where it comes? The medulla oblongata is like the reptilian mind where the anger comes from, right? That's why alligators are so ornery. You know what I mean? Death to new love in utero, like in this, bro. I'm telling you, he's doing something different on this. He's doing something different. This is
different type of time.
I don't have. I mean, if you want me to, I can go off for another 30 minutes on this, just going track through track. But you know, just. Bro, okay. I mean, just listen to it.
I mean, just go listen to the album.
Yeah.
Just listen to it.
Bro, the way he... Nebulous Storm. Getting deaf on the decibel, no tall order to stretch our effort, flex on the rest of you. Bro.
And that ain't gender specific. It's crazy too, man.
Flex on the rest of you bitches, and that ain't gender specific. It's all...
Set off when my nebula forms, encroaching, roach antenna tremble. From the treble, assemble a swarm, no serial.
What does he say? That's all coast, almost kings, Edward King James, not almost, like Edward James almost. That's American me, where Eric B for president set a precedence for me. Bro.
The Goya and the multi-leaf when corporate calling audible left. Getting deaf on the decibel.
We haven't talked about how he changes his voices up so much on this as well. You know,
the voices and the flows, like
almost kings, Edward King James, not almost. That's American. Where every B for president set precedence with me. High stepping on your peak, a precipice I don't reach. Ain't no threshold to a beating on a beat.
Bro, high stepping on your peak, a precipice ain't a reach. Ain't not a threshold till I'm beating on a BBB, bro.
Blood, tears, and sweat leave his tongue quarter water.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, everybody that ever listens to listen to hip hop music, like, tap in. Like, you might realize something about yourself. For real. Yeah. What do we got for favorite?
Songs? God, I don't even want you to. You know, I'm disqualifying you from this.
Okay.
One. You can pick three. You can pick three.
All right, I'm definitely going with I Miss Them.
Okay.
Full nav Israelites. I'm going with I Miss Them. I'm going with Bad Vice. And you know what? I'm a freaking just to let you guys know, like the real Baby I'm Home.
Ooh.
It's a very simple 40 seconds. It's kind of like it's kind of just like a skit. It's kind of just like whatever. But I listened to that shit like 40 times too.
I'm gonna go with Touch Tones. Yeah, boy.
Oh, that's too fire. Hit him with the longest.
And I'm gonna go with Told You.
Okay. For me, Bad Vice. Can I see the list again? I had Bad
There you
Vice.
go.
The Quelle Quiz, Flourish.
Yeah,
that's a lot
that's
of
a-
Flourish. All Things Considered. And Doo Doo Damien. Yeah, those are, yeah. I'm gonna run this album again when I go home. That's how I'm feeling, man. Especially, goddamn, the album title is so good. Different type time. I fuck with it heavy, man. Fuck with it heavy.
I once boyed off the top of Mount Fuji. I
Word?
think I might have the record for the highest ever boy, if not the longest. If anyone has a higher boy
Evolution-wise,
on
yeah.
record, elevation wise, not in the other sense.
Do planes not count? Planes don't count, yeah.
I guess if you boy on a plane, you're high. Yeah, but like I had to work for it.
Flavor Flav definitely is boyed on a plane.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, for now I'm claiming the unofficial record for the
Is
highest ever
Kilimanjaro higher
boy.
than Fuji?
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just checking. I ain't
Stacks,
climbing
not
it, but,
stacks.
you know.
To stack kudos. Most of these cats raps is pseudo / you know the kind. Bro,
Pseudo-raps.
a nigga got a full blown callus on his mood.
Sheesh. Sheesh.
Secret House Against Tokyo Bass Hip Hop Art and Culture. All of our patrons on the screen right now.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe.
We see y'all in a
Shout out to
future.
Patreon supporters.
Hit
We
the
love you.
hit
Sure.
the bell or don't. We don't really care about that, but yeah.
Fuck YouTube.
Wake up, we fucking it up for you right now.
If we sleep, I'm fucking it up for you.